Hey everyone, this is MonkinOut welcoming you to the first in a series of videos I'm producing regarding the setup of this 65-gallon saltwater aquarium. Just to give you a little background, this is my first YouTube production and my first venture into the saltwater hobby. So I decided to document what I'm doing in order to help myself and to potentially help some of you out there that might have questions or concerns regarding setting up a saltwater aquarium. I have found, a lot of information through a few books I've read, talking with people at the local fish store in my area, and from watching some videos online, particularly those from New York Stilo and the LA Fish Guys. So I'm going to also, put a link to those on there. If you haven't come across their YouTube channels, definitely check them out. A ton of information presented, and they present it in a way that it's really easy to understand to the novice, which is myself. So with that, let me transition over here to what we're going to talk about today. Basically, this video is to outline what I have currently as far as equipment and what my plans are as far as the setup here for this particular system. What I have here tank-wise is a Marineland corner flow tank. The reason I went with this particular tank was it fit my budget, number one. And as far as size goes, the room that my family and I planned on putting the tank in, as you can see here, this tank is a perfect size. It's not, not too small, not too big. It's the right price, and we're hoping it's going to work out. Also, as you can see, I have a wood canopy and stand. My wife and I had this made. We had a contact through our local fish store. We made a contact of a gentleman that made these stands, really good price. It's actually cheaper than buying a ready-made one. It's all solid wood. And let me show you here on the canopy itself. This opens up real nice. He hinged it for us so you can get access to anything you need to in the aquarium itself. The only thing I need to do on this, and I'm going to get it going here probably after I'm done making this video, is I don't know if you guys can hear this, but the outside here is pretty smooth, but the inside is pretty rough. And that's because the gentleman that made this for us, he only used the polyurethane, the satin finish that we picked out on the exterior of the wood. And so what I'm going to do here, based on some comments from a few people at the local fish store and from what I've seen online, I'm going to go ahead and take the time to properly seal this wood. I'm going to put a few coats of polyurethane on that. I'm going to use some silicone and caulk all the seams that I can, that won't impede on the function of the canopy, the way it sits. And then also the last thing I'm going to do is regarding my lighting system. My lights don't actually sit on the tank. I have angle brackets that I'm going to actually mount them to a piece of wood. And so what I'm going to do is go to our home store, and I'm going to pick up probably an 8-inch wide piece of wood, 3/4 inch thick, and I'm going to bring that all the way across here, and then I'm going to attach it to these 3/4 pieces of wood that support the top. And then once I have that in place, I'll have a nice solid and wide mounting surface for my lights, and I won't even have to worry about damaging the top. So let me close this down. And then down here below, in the stand, it's going to be basically the same thing. I just got a light in there just to try to illuminate a little bit better. The same thing. Inside here, it's basically just stained wood. So I'm going to go ahead and take the time, put the few coats of polyurethane, caulk all the seams well. I don't want, especially down here with the sump, I don't want a leak potentially ruining, this stand. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look what I have in here. Just having it set in here for right now, just to not take up space, is the Aquarium ProFlex modular sump. I picked up the Model 2 because this was the as far as fit for this cabinet, this was the biggest model that I could get to fit in here. And I definitely want to set this up as a refugium. I seen New York Stilo's breakdown on the Model 4 of this. He did I think a 2-part series online, and he really broke down the details and pros and cons of this unit. He had a lot of good things to say about it, so I picked one up. I got a good price on it at my local fish store. The only thing that I can see potentially causing me to return this right now is I haven't decided on my protein skimmer yet. Let me move this out of the way. This section of the sump is only 10 by 10 for the footprint, and so I'm kind of limited as to the skimmer along with the pump that I'm going to use for my return into the tank. I'm kind of limited on space, and so if I can't find a happy medium, a skimmer I'm going to be happy with that will fit in here, I may end up taking this thing back. I'm not 100% sure yet. I was hoping I could get this thing to work out, but there again, that's the last piece of the puzzle for me to decide on, is what skimmer I'm going to actually use. So if you guys have any feedback regarding skimmers, like I said, that's a 10 by 10 footprint, so if you want to send some comments onto the page here, I'll definitely look at them and take all your advice to heart. That's why I'm kind of doing this as well. Alright, over here, this is some of the other basic stuff that I have so far. I have a heater. This is rated for up to 75 gallons, and when I bought this heater, it was before I actually had the sump, and so I may be exchanging this for 2 heaters instead that will give me the proper wattage I'll need to heat this water, and also by having to, I'm figuring I'll have a decent backup. Right here, I got the Corelli for circulating in the tank. I have one right now. I may add a second. I just kind of want to see the initial setup. The guys at the aquarium shop, my local fish store, they said this should be more than enough for the flow rate for this size tank. But there again, depending on what I'm going to do, I can always add a second one. No big deal. Right here, this was the initial pump that I picked up. It's a Magna Drive. It's a Model 7, 700 gallons per hour. That's what I was going to use for the return. But there again, I might switch that to a different pump depending on what I do for the skimmer. Over here, just got the plumbing for the overflow for the marine land tank. I have a background. We're going to actually put the black side showing, so that way you don't have to look through the aquarium at the back of my wall here, and if I have any cords or anything hanging. This stuff right here, the clear view, I have never heard of this stuff before, but they recommended that for putting my background on, if I don't plan on switching it out all the time, they said this is going to really help it to adhere, so I don't have to worry about salt creep in between, so I'm going to go with that. I just bought a basic hydrometer just so I can go ahead and of course get that salinity measured up. And then here we go as far as the lights. These are Reef Brights. They are LEDs, and the thing I liked about these was I don't have the exact number, the K output that these have, but from what the guys said at the shop where I picked them up, that one of these will more than suffice in my aquarium until I get some serious life established in there as far as corals go. So I'm planning on putting in 2 eventually, right next to each other in the center. And what I love about these is these are 50/50s, so half the bulbs are like a white light, half the bulbs are like a blue light. And the mirror finish in there, I don't know if you can see some of that light reflecting there from me moving this, but when we turn these things on at the shop, man, they were bright. Blinding. So I'm definitely liking this, also due to the fact that this entire system here is, I want to say, rated at, let me see where it was. Oh yeah, 15 watts of electricity usage. So definitely going to cut down on the heat and going to help me cut down on the electric bill. And then for nighttime, I just grabbed one of these stunner strips. These are, just for in the evening or maybe early morning hours. There again, these are LEDs as well. I don't know what the wattage was on these. Let me see if it says here on the package. It's not saying on here. If I get that information, I'll post a little bit of that info after I get this video uploaded online. And the last thing that I have right now is over here. Last two things is I have some rock here that I'm going to use for the base. This is I don't know if you guys have visited Bulk Reef Supply, but those guys sell this base rock, which you can use. You know, it's the way I was looking at it is from a cost standpoint. If I was going to completely fill my aquarium with live rock to start, I just don't have the budget for it. You know, I'm trying to be very budget conscious. So what I thought to do, you know, from some advice that I got from people online and at the local fish stores, get a good quality base rock that your live rock will be able to, you know, seed over time. It's not going to be instant, but over time, obviously, hopefully this porous rock will get populated. So I bought, you know, quite a few pieces here. You know, I'm not sure if I'm going to use them all. Time will tell once I can figure out what type of live rock I'm going to get, whether I'm going to buy something online or get some of the live rock that's curing right now at our local fish store. And then lastly, I got some live sand here. Let's see, what was the brand of this one? Let's see if you can see that, guys. Carib Sea. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, like the Caribbean. But I got 5 bags of this, the finer grain live sand. The reason I got 5 bags was obviously for the tank. I'm not doing a deep sand bed right now to start, so I want enough to cover. They were, you know, saying you'll want to have at least a pound per gallon. And then also for the refugium, I definitely need some sand down there as well. So I grabbed 5 bags or 20-pound bags, so I got 100 pounds of sand here. So that's about it as far as the supplies go. Also, this is some rock I actually had from my old aquariums. It's kind of dirty and dingy. I thought it might work, but I decided, I think I'm just going to leave it in the box. We'll put it back in the basement. And with that, I'm going to sign off. I appreciate you guys checking out the video, and by all means, if you want to subscribe to my channel, you know, please feel free, rate my videos. Your comments and suggestions are all appreciated. Thank you very much. This is MonkinOut signing out.